Greetings, all and sundry. To near universal applause, President-elect Joe Biden just selected Dr. Rochelle Walensky to run the CDC. According to NPR, Dr. Walensky teaches at Harvard Medical School and is an infectious disease specialist at both Massachusetts General Hospital and the Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston. She's someone who knows what she's doing when it comes to infectious disease. Something you might want in a CDC director in the time of COVID-19. Biden has, not at all unexpectedly, been announcing a string of highly qualified people to serve in his administration. He has served as a senator and as a vice president, and he knows his way around the White House. Nevertheless, I think it's worthy of note that his selections of highly qualified people to serve in his administration signals the return of proficiency to running the White House. I have long said that Trump's America First slogan should not have counted in his favor at all, because you could choose almost any American off the street, put him in the White House, and he would do his very best to put America's interests first. He would, after all, be an American, serving as the American president. Of course he would put America's interests first. That doesn't mean that he wouldn't also consider what was best for the rest of the world or for the world as a whole. It just means that as an American serving as the American president, he would always put America's interests first. The trouble isn't that most Americans wouldn't put America first, but that they would not know how to do a good job of putting America first. That requires competence in running a White House, and it requires something more than competence. It requires respecting expertise, putting an expert on public education in charge of the Department of Education, putting an expert on environmental matters in charge of the Environmental Protection Agency, putting an expert on foreign affairs in charge of the State Department, putting an expert on infectious disease in charge of the Centers for Disease Control, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic, and so on. Even then, most Americans, I think, would do the best they could to put real experts in positions of authority were they handed the presidency. They might or might not have a good idea of how to find those experts, but they would try. They would attempt to do a good job of running the White House, were it placed in their hands. Donald Trump is not one of those most Americans. He doesn't know how to find real experts, and he certainly doesn't want to put them in positions of authority. He wants the power all to himself. And he puts people in positions of authority who will do his bidding rather than operating on their own expert knowledge. Oh, those serving the president always have to coordinate their actions with the White House, but they don't normally have to constantly look over their shoulders, worried that acting in accordance with their expertise will get them fired. And they don't normally have to worry that the president will claim to be more knowledgeable than they are about their own fields of knowledge. Joe Biden, on the other hand, shows that he has no fear of putting people in place who know what they're talking about and who are capable of running agencies according to their own expertise. Joe Biden not only knows his way around government, and he not only puts America's interests first, but he understands the importance of expertise, and he knows how to find the real experts so as to put them into the appropriate positions in government. This is, or will be come Inauguration Day, the return not only of competence, but of something higher. It is the return of proficiency to the running of the White House. And if the past 4 years have shown us nothing else, and indeed I think they've shown us quite a lot, they've certainly shown us the importance of having a president who is proficient at running the White House. It's not a good idea to get rid of the people who know what they're doing. We need them in a pandemic more than ever. Joe Biden understands that. We are seeing the return of proficiency to the White House. As always, may reason and compassion be your guides.